So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Yes, the evening show. And guess what? Guess what? I got my brother.
What?
My brother's back. Yeah, he's back. He's back. He's back. He's back. He's back. He's back.
Back. Really?
It's just like the old days. Come and get rid of him.
Well, you know what? They say distance makes the heart go fonder, so it doesn't then.
All right, okay. Anyway, listen, I saw a comment in the live chat before we went live. Yeah, let's see if we can get this one started before Uber time.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Anyway, guys. Anyway, I might review a little bit of the news we spoke about yesterday because I know my brother, of course, wasn't on the show yesterday. So we're going to review some bits of yesterday. I've got two bits of news segments, new news segments that I want to talk about. I'm not happy about, but we'll get into it. But anyway, guys, yeah, we shall see you on the other side of this music intro. Just can't get rid of him. Can't get rid of him. Yes. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder. See, Ralph, I saw Ralph go off his screen and he jumped back in again. You thought I didn't see you, Ralph. I saw you, mate.
It's what you call timing, but you're meant to have. This is the mysteries of being online. Actually, you don't say everything. You leave a bit of
I'm
mystery.
saying it, man.
But you're saying everything because I think you've inherited the big mouth, as it were. So
that's right.
Carry on.
I have. Sign him up. Anyway, guys, as usual, make sure you subscribe to Cannon Fodder TV. Hit the bell notification button so you can receive all the latest news right here on this wonderful channel. And apart from that, be part of the community here on Cannon Fodder TV, man. Why not? Why would you not want to be? Actually, yeah. No, be part of this community here, over here. Please subscribe. And if you don't, I'll come and find you. Anyway, see, my brother's got his straight face on. Anyway, Ralph, how are you this evening, my good fellow?
Yeah, I'm good. I had a very productive day, projects-wise, and this is as I said to you earlier, because I'm off today, and I've got this time to myself, and I've got the weekend back in store. Hopefully, we continue our little kind of like a Sunday sojourn through the Arsenal minefield for another week before the new reality sets in place for us in South Wales and hopefully the rest of the UK as well after the lockdowns restrictions start getting a bit lifted. So you got me for just maybe a little bit longer. I know you probably just and are in that, but
doesn't make any difference to me. The show goes on. The show goes on.
Exactly. It's good to have a cameo now and again.
Yeah. Apart from that, I hope you guys went and saw my brother's latest installment of The Voice of Reason. I put lacking. Yeah. Not actually. Yeah, because Laka kind of saved the day, didn't he, for us on Sunday against the Happy Hammers. And there's Oba looking quite sad and gloomy. But have a look at that. That was released today, actually. I think over an hour ago. And my brother didn't even know, wasn't aware of that. But anyway.
Well, here on the screen an hour ago with 40 views.
Okay, that's good. That's really good to hear, bro. Anyway,
thank you.
The first bit of news is in regards to Florent Ballinger. Oh my goodness, you guys just can't leave him alone. Any bit of information, you guys are like scrimping and scraping, and you wanted this boy to sign for Arsenal. He's still at Arsenal. He played last week. But anyway, this news says Florent Ballingham's latest tweet has got some Arsenal fans talking. Yeah, you guys, man. Arsenal striker Florent Ballingham has been urged to sign a new contract by Gunners supporters after he posted a clip of his goal against Everton under 23 earlier. Well, actually last week. Ballingham netted a brilliant solo effort in Arsenal's latest development squad match to serve up as a reminder of his quality. Yes, a reminder is knocking on the door of Mikel Arteta. All right, Mikel, open the door. The youngster has emerged as one of the hottest prospects in Arsenal's academy system right now, but he hasn't signed a team. Hasn't signed a team, and that's why a lot of the fan base, any bit of information, any little tweets, you guys just jump on top of that. Oh, why doesn't he sign? Well, I mean, Mikel Arteta has said literally he wants to stay at Arsenal. I think it's something to do with the agent, the same agent for Eddie Nketiah. Yeah, sure. Is it not like a conflict of interest? Who cares about a conflict of interest at Arsenal? Money's money. Money talks. Yeah, Ralph. Any thoughts about Florian Balogun? Just tweeted out something on Twitter, and people just jumping on that. Balogun, sign him up. Your thoughts, Ralph?
I think potentially, like any young man who feels that he's got the potential to prove himself, that's what you do these days. You bang on the manager's door, and the manager will probably say no, not yet. Continue being consistent, and so you be that constant ringing in my ear. So then the manager will have a contingency plan for just in case he wants that youngster to come in. It wasn't such a long time ago when Saka and more like it, Emma Smith-Rowe was probably doing the same thing as well, but maybe not to that kind of extent. If you're posting yourself on social media, I think that tends to maybe just get the managers back up rather than the word in his shell, like as we used to say. Nothing wrong with being maybe a bit arrogant and I want well, for a better or lesser word, cocky. But that's where it is. I thought at one stage that he was on his way out. I thought that most of the clamour was the fact that he didn't want to sign a contract, and this was his last term for the Gunners. So maybe he's got a change of heart. Maybe he feels that there's some kind of space for him. But again, it's all down to consistency and where does he fit into Arteta plans, and also if Arteta has a plan for him, maybe it might be one of the ones that might be going out. Like I said at the weekend, Arteta's got to have this this set in stone, almost set in stone. He's strong 11, and then there's the maybes. Is Balogun in the maybes list, or is he on the list of like going out? So I don't think there's nothing wrong with wanting to push your point, but he's got to be consistent. And sometimes being impatient it's the flip side. If you're too pushy, then you're seen as a trouble. But if you're not pushy enough, you're seen as too quiet and not being confident. So it's got to find that balance. Maybe that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah. Well, as far as I know, he's got like 3-4 months left. 3.5 months left on his contract, and personally, I'll bet on him leaving Arsenal. Otherwise, we would have heard something now. But the guys, the fan base, man, just jumping on a little tweet. Balogun, just sign the thing. Anyway, the second bit of actually, what I might do, I might split the live news with this news in regards to Frank Worthington, who passed away at the age of 72 following a long illness. And like I said yesterday, on the back of headings about Peter Lorimer and another ex-Leeds. I didn't realise Frank Worthington played for Leeds as well as Leicester City, Bolton, Birmingham City, Southampton, and Sunderland. And he also had spells as a player manager at Tranmere Rovers. Yeah, the former Leicester striker and BBC pundit Gary Lineker does say in a tweet, proudly just saddened to hear that Frank Worthington has passed. He was my boyhood hero when he was at Leicester City, a beautiful footballer, a maverick, a wonderful character who was so kind to his young apprentice when he joined the club. Rest in peace, Frank. Ralph, I'm not sure if you saw my show yesterday. I did speak about that goal. That goal, man, where like he looked like he was facing his back was facing the goal, and everyone was going out, and all of a sudden he kind of chipped the ball over himself and volleyed it in the bottom right hand corner. That was. Do you remember that goal, Ralph?
Yeah, I remember that goal. What I saw from your segment yesterday, I believe you were correct in saying that how the big match, which is pretty much like the equivalent to match of the day, It was ITV match, the big match. They used to have it on like a Sunday afternoon. And the only reason I remember that is because I wanted to watch it, but our dad or our mum would drag us over to Sunday school after going to church in the morning. So I used to be a bit upset about going to Sunday school because the big match was on. But yeah, Frank Worthington goal was one of those goals that was forever featured, and for those fans as well, that he was one of those maverick. There was a program, I believe ITV 3 or 4 did a few years ago, talking about maverick players who only had maybe 1 or 2 appearances for England, but for their clubs, they were the maverick. They were the type of midfield or striker players that could go out on a Friday night, have a few beers, and then Saturday is match day, and then they do it Saturday in the evening. A few so, or I remember there's quite a few. I've written down a couple of players. One obviously was Frank Worthington, but Stan Bowles was one from QPR. Georgie Best, everyone remembers Georgie Best as being, he was one of those unique maverick players. They're the players who didn't do anything normal because they had the skills to back it up. And that's what I'm saying about some of the youngsters today. It's all good saying how you want to do this and you want to be that, but you have to back it up. If you can back it up, then the world's your oyster. But if you're all mouth and no show, then pretty much that's what happens. You come up for the big occasions and it doesn't happen. So Frank Worthington, Stan Bowles, Peter Osgood, I think was another maverick. Charlie George, of course, all those players around that time they were mavericks, and they made the first division, Division 1, a lot more watchable because it wasn't so much what they did on the pitch which got the crowds in. It was what they did afterwards as well, the social life. I was watching Ray Parlour talking about the days when he joined Arsenal, and the social scene was all about going out and having a couple of drinks, and it was just the fact that was the culture at the time. And then until we had the foreign players come in and gave a kind of like symbiotic regime to the way that the game could be played, as well as using tactics. And then health and fitness came into it as well. It wasn't so much about what you did Friday night. It was all about what you did from Monday to Friday in terms of training. So there was always that kind of friction between the maverick players who wanted to do their own thing and the structured players who was all about fitness and longevity. So England kind of should have benefited from players like Frank Worthington. Glenn Hoddle was another kind of, like, I would say, maverick player, because his skill set was not par excellence. But the managers for England never ever understood that kind of play. There's very structured, and that's where the maverick players didn't turn up or didn't play for England as much, because the managers felt that they weren't that reliable. So that was a shame, because England could have potentially won a European or a World Cup with those maverick players. Frank Worthington was definitely one of those.
Yeah, I think he only had eight caps for England. Actually, I didn't realise he played for England.
I remember one match. I think I'm not sure he did play in the match when we was meant to qualify for the 1974 World Cup, and I think it was a Polish goalkeeper, or the team we played was Poland, and the keeper, just every shot that we could have had on target, this goalkeeper saved. I'm not sure if he played in that match or he played in that year, but
it's 1974. Yeah, so that he made always 8 England appearances in 1974, scoring in friendlies against Bulgaria and Argentina. So yeah, you're kind of smack bang right on there, 1974. So well done about that. Right, so I wanted to punctuate.
Sorry, just saying. Obviously, sorry to interrupt. I was just saying, above all that, I know you expressed about condolences to his family as well. We've lost, within a space of a few days, some really wonderful players from Division 1, Pierre Lorimer and Worthington now. So condolences to his family.
Yeah, You know what I find kind of interesting, Ralph, because I know sometimes people post up like nostalgia football matches from like the 70s and 80s. And what strikes me, Ralph, is the condition of the pitches back then. A quagmire. How these guys managed to, control the football in that quagmire, that mud bath there. And, modern day football now, you see the pitches are semi synthetic. You hardly ever see like that the mud on the shorts. But that's, for me, that was kind of, really struck my imagination that these guys in the 70s, the quagmire, a bit of rain, that's it. Mud, around the penalty area, the centre spot. How these guys managed to play football in these conditions, Ralph, it was, for me, it was incredible. Absolutely
It
incredible, man.
wasn't so much that though, Alex. It was also when you think about technology, the way that the jerseys were just thick, warm jerseys. So if you're sweating away, and it's a summer day, so to speak, you're drowning in sweat. In the winter, then you probably just your upper body is warm, but then when the ball hits your legs, that's a wake up call. And the boots were just all six studded. There was nothing about, if you remember when the Predator boots came into existence. I think it was Craig Johnson from Liverpool. He had a look at the way that football boots were made, and then he started this revolution, as it were, with boots. But back then, your boots were just leather and it's just six studs. Nothing about having blades and types of boots, types of studs, of course. You know what I mean? But technology has played a part, and like I said, with the pitches, of course, playing at Woodham Lodge and playing at Hackney Marshes. Hackney Marshes gives you the reason why it's called Hackney Marshes. Part of the pitches were like a marsh you played in. They were like the kind of like.
But we played at Market Road, which was a synthetic service, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think the first. I'm not sure if it may have been like one of the first AstroTurf pitches around. Definitely around Islington.
Yeah.
And and at Highbury Fields, we used to play at Highbury Fields was a dirt pitch, it's a cinder pitch, cinder. Yeah. So when you fell over, if you scraped yourself, then you scraped yourself, your hands and everything, and then you just had to rub your hands quickly and just get on with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. These players of today, man, they've not been born, Ralph, man. They've not been born. Anyway, so let's get back on track with the news of today, the current news. And I am seething about this news if it's true. Report: Arsenal's Bukayo Saka ruled out of England's clash with San Marino. Arsenal's midfielder Bukayo Saka will play no part in England's World Cup qualifier clash with San Marino tomorrow night. BT Sport report that Saka has stayed behind at Arsenal to continue being assessed by their medical staff. He remains part of England's squad, and Gareth Southgate hopes that he can play against Albania and Poland in the days ahead. Well, Saka played 74 minutes against West Ham on Sunday, but it's clearly not completely over his recent injury problems. I am seething. I am annoyed. He shouldn't have played. He should not have played against West Ham. There were other players who could have played in that position. The guy needed time to recuperate. And now you're saying that he's... I'm seething. Mikel Arteta, your lack of man management, your backroom staff, your physios. When I saw the news on, was it Saturday, where he will have like a late fitness test to see if he will play on Sunday, seething. He shouldn't have played on Sunday. There are other players, I repeat, there are other players who could have fulfilled that position there. Ralph, I don't know what you want to say about this, man. Bukayo Saka will not feature against San Marino because he stayed behind. He stayed behind, Ralph.
Well, your discuss at that is well placed. We both said that we didn't want to see Saka playing because he's been heavily relied upon. If you think about it, he's in a sense he's carried Arsenal since he's had so many great games. I don't say great games, really some really good games, some really good performances, and when Arteta said how he didn't feel to drop him because he's playing so well, then that's the flip side of being a manager. You know, how long do you have to rely on one of your players to the point where it becomes it's exhaustion, and when you're exhausted, you pick up injuries. Now the flip side of that is if he's not going to be playing this match, if he's going to play for the second match, is he going to be playing like a full 45 or full 90? Don't forget, we've got Liverpool after the international break as well. And if he doesn't recover in time, or if he's not fit, you know what? I'd rather that he didn't play for England. And this may sound, yeah, I'd rather he didn't play for England for now, purely because the season it has been very, very intense for him. And like I said before, he's been carrying the Arsenal team for about 20 plus matches, if that. He has he's played incredibly well. He's linked up with his teammates very well. The demands, the fact that opposition have, when they don't mark him once, they double tick the two-man mark him, which is just as difficult. And he's still a very young man. So this is what we always say. We also, with our young players at Arsenal, we don't tend to protect them. I'd rather that he didn't play for. It's great to be, included in the England setup. England would benefit a lot. I think him and Foden, they are the two young players of the year so far, and maybe one or two others. But to me, they're highlighted. Obviously, I've got a vested interest in Saka. But I think I wouldn't want Saka to be anywhere in the England team for now, because if he goes in and he's not fully fit, it's gonna bounce back on us, and we've still got a Europa tie to compete in as well. So I'm not really that bothered, and let's face it, the way that the Euros is as well, it's not, to me, I'm not really that interested in it. Being an England fan, I'm not really that vested interested. I'm more invested in the fact that where Arsenal are going to end up, and the potential with James Rowe's assessment about us not winning a European trophy for 27 years. What's the knock-on effect with that? If we God forbid, it's literally up for anyone to win, but there's still quite a few teams in that draw that's very strong. So I would rather that we keep our resources, keep our powder dry. If Saka feels that he wants to stay at Arsenal and get over the injury, and if Arteta's assessing him and thinking long term, then maybe it wouldn't be such a bad thing for him to be omitted from the England team.
All right, guys, as you're just watching now, just seeing the numbers kind of bubbling just below 20 at any one time watching us on this evening segment on a Wednesday evening with my brother, Ralph, just talking about, today's events in regards to like newsworthy bits and pieces. Bellingham, you guys just love to... I'm very doubtful that he will sign for Arsenal. If he does, because, again, with Arsenal, you just don't know what you're going to get. Arsenal are like a box of chocolates. You open up and you don't know what you're going to get. But yeah, and with Saka, I'm absolutely seething. He should have played against West Ham on Sunday. But again, Mikel Arteta, he will learn the hard way. He will learn the lesson. Let's go into the live chat and see who has joined us on this one. I've got Connor Young says, hello, Alex. 3.5 minutes to show Auba how to be early. I was right on time. We were right on time. We didn't do an over. Ashley says, hey up, Gooners. And Monty says, what go on, Alex? I'm kind of for your family. I hope you're all well. I am fine, Monty. I'm fine. I think, you want to say something to Monty, Ralph?
Yeah, where's L Energy? Let's get him in. Let's get him in, Monty. I hope you're well, Monty, mate.
And Colin says, perfectly on time. Yeah, we were on time. We were on time. Well, I was anyway, not my brother. Anyway, leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new here. And he goes on saying, well, go on, Ralph.
Yes, Monty. Love the energy. Love the energy.
And I recognize this person, Goon Express. Evening, Gooners. Good to see you again. And likewise, I hope you're well. I hope the family are fine. All the way there in South Africa, just around the corner. And Gary, DWTT, says, good day, Alex. You're from Australia. You're not from Australia. You're born and bred in England, living in the States. Good day, Alex. What's going on with you, mate? The big mouth. Ralph, what's up?
Yes, DWT. The big mouth from the south is back. Alex is in and out going is, but yeah.
All right, baby yourself. We need 50 likes today so Alex can sing a lullaby. That's not happening, man. That's not going to happen. That ain't happening. Connie Young says, Alex will sing again? No. That's not happening. That ain't going to happen, man. What's wrong with you guys? It will take a sizable amount of money, a big donation, if you want to hear me sing. Even bigger so if you want to hear Ralph sing. So, yeah. Connie Young says, smash that like button. Yeah,
I'm not sure what's happened. The sound's going.
Yeah, do you want to come out?
Take a pause for the calls.
Log out and then get back in again because your video is lagging a bit. So you want to come back out? Yeah. Cool. We'll be
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'll leave. I'll come back out.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Ashley D says we needed 50 likes so he would do a singing chef stream, but no one wanted to suffer the singing of the burning of his baked beans. So no one hit the like button. It was nothing to do with the baked beans. Do you know how to cook, Ashley D? Do you know how to cook? I don't think you do. Anyway. Good evening. If Bellingham goes, it shows even more about Arteta's mismanagement. Well, he has said, Alex, that Bellingham wants to sign. He wants to sign for Arsenal. Arsenal are happy with the player, but it appears there's some disconnect between the player, the club, and the agent. I think the problem could be the agent. Again, I'm just paraphrasing here. Right, Ralph's back with us. As from Raz, what do you guys think about Xhaka talking a lot in Switzerland? To be honest, guys, I have no interest about what this guy is saying whilst he's on international duty. I have no interest at all. So I'm sure you guys will come and tell me, oh, but he said this and he said that. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in what he has to say. If he's on international duty, let him stay out there on international duty forever. Forever. Don't sign forever. Whatever. Infinity. I'm not interested. Sorry, guys. Keep Bellingham and sell. Aubameyang. It's funny you said that, Colin, because I was thinking the same thing. Been thinking the same thing. The man cannot be bothered, and I'm certain. Whoops, there's a taxi companies that need a driver that can... Oh dear. Ralph, quick question. Can you hear me? He's still got lag. Ralph, I would advise you to restart your Wi-Fi. Restart your Wi-Fi.
I can just about make you out, Anne. There's still a bit of lag.
Restart your Wi-Fi. Yeah?
I'm out.
Yeah, restart your Wi-Fi, yeah. I would say. Good evening, chaps. Do you think that Saka is not being paid enough? Because if Balogun gets what he wants, Saka could then have issues next. I don't think Saka is that kind of player where he would be demanding, making those instant demands. I think from what I hear and what I see, he appears to have good people around who are advising him. So I don't think he's that kind of person who will be demanding a lot more than all the other players. I think he's just happy to be playing at Arsenal. For me, Balogun is a different kettle of fish, who's possibly driven by the agent. That's the impression that I get. But is he getting paid? I think he's getting paid enough money. And that's the problem. With modern day footballs, man, it's all about the money, isn't it? It's all about the money. None of this, yeah, you know, I'll stay here, I'll be a legend. You know, they're not gonna move me on to another club. I'll stay here, play for the badge. But these players of today, man, it's all about the money. Millionaires over and over and over again. When is enough for these players? When is enough? But again, I don't think Saka's that kind of player where he would do, oh, he's getting £5 more than me. I want £5 more than him. I don't think Saka's that kind of person. That's the impression that I get anyway. Do you remember Duncan McKenzie? Of course I do. Tony Curry. Oh, listen, these are all the players that my brother, because my brother's a little bit older than me. Actually, he's a lot older than me. Can you hear me, Ralph? Oops, there he comes. Hello, Ralph. You all right?
Hello.
You all right?
Can you hear me, or is there still a bit of lag?
No, it's okay. We're just talking about you. Yeah, we can hear you. Still a little bit of a lag. Yeah. There's still a bit of a lag, Ralph, man.
Okay.
Did you restart your Wi-Fi?
Yeah, there is.
So why?
I've done all I can at this end for the Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. All right. Listen, the assemble says, do you remember Duncan McKenzie, Tony Curry, Rodney Marsh? Every team had a maverick. Almost every team had a maverick. Yeah, of course I remember. Yeah, Tony Curry. Yeah, Rodney Marsh. Did you want to say anything, Ralph? Was Duncan McKenzie a maverick?
There's still Duncan McKenzie.
Yeah, was he a maverick?
Not to my recollection. Tony Curry, definitely. Rodney Marsh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't there there was a famous like almost near kiss scene? I'm trying to think who it was. It was, I know Rodney Marsh was involved. I'm not sure. Maybe if it was Tony Curry or if it was Georgie Best. I think maybe Tony Curry.
Right. Okay.
Two of them like clashed or something, and there was almost like a typical like as if they wanted like to kiss each other, and it caused such a stir back in the 70s because of that kind of like notion, as it were, two men. It was really quite funny, but I'm sure Rodney Marsh was involved in it.
Okay, I don't remember that. Don Arsenal welcome says, I hope Saka doesn't play any matches for England. They're playing against our farmers anyway. That's a bit cruel. It's a bit cruel. Don Arsenal. Come on, behave yourself. Thank you to every single one of the Gunners here with us. We really do appreciate your time and interaction, of course, in the live chat. We're loving the interaction there. Patrick Kenny goes, good evening, gents. Alex, what do you make of our favourite midfielder's recent comments? Yeah, again, the stuff about Xhaka talking whilst he's on international duty. I'm not interested. Whatever it is, I haven't read anything because I'm not interested in what he has to say. Not interested. Ralph, have you heard anything about Xhaka?
I haven't heard the story, but do you lie to me and then I can?
I haven't read anything.
Okay.
Because I'm not interested.
I haven't. If he's saying anything derogatory about the club, of course, the club will act. If it's something specific, like he probably feels that he's been criticized a lot, it comes with the territory. Sometimes you don't have to take on everything that people say. You can siphon out what people say negatively or positively. Actually, I was watching earlier a podcast for rugby, and one of the England players, Ellis Genge, mentioned that because there was an incident that happened in the scrum, that it could sometimes, what you see for a few seconds, you're gonna make your own kind of decisions and opinion, whether rightly or wrongly. And he was getting a lot of online abuse, as well as I think Liam Williams as well for Wales, because Wales just narrowly lost the Grand Slam. And players live by their actions. They either do the right thing or do the wrong thing. It was really nice that there's a nearby school that sent some really positive messages to Liam Williams to say, don't worry, we appreciate everything that you do in the red jersey. For Ellis Genge, it was like death threats and everything else, and he seen that the best thing for him to do would be to absorb himself in the positive. So his family and those that are nearby, that's where he gets his strength from. So players understand that, with social media, there's a lot of cowards out there. I'll say the cowards because not necessarily are you going to want to say what you want to say to the player's face. It's quite easy to do it on this kind of platform or hide behind your keyboard and say it. And for those who are negative and not contributing anything to the sport because they feel that what they say has a place, whether it's vile or racist, homophobic, or anything like that, you guys don't deserve the air that we give you. So as far as I'm concerned, you are here and then you're going to disappear. But we it's up to us as positive. We can either take it in and do something positive. Those owners of the social platforms can really stamp it out. They can stamp it out if they want to, but they're not at this moment in time. So it's incumbent on the players. The players have to go in that arena, and it's not just on the pitch, it's also outside the pitch that they have to deal with certain things as well. It's a strength of character.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, just another flagging up. I've got my brother with me. He's just going through some live news segments, one of which we spoke about yesterday, the pass of Frank Worthington, and of course the news about Ballinger just tweeting something and people just jumping on that. Oh yeah, he's signing for Arsenal. We don't know yet. We don't know. There's only maybe one or two people probably know whether he's signing or not, and one of which is Ballinger. He could probably tell you whether he's going to sign for Arsenal or not. Also, been speaking about Saka. Yeah, Saka won't be playing against San Marino because apparently he's injured. He stayed behind with Arsenal at Arsenal. So yeah, I'm absolutely fuming about that. And what we're going to do, we're going to take a very quick pause for the cause, or cause for the pause. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually just promo video about our online digital services. It might give my brother a moment to go and refresh himself, get something to drink. I've got all my juice down there. It's all soft stuff. There's no hard stuff down there. Really, there isn't. And yeah, so we should see on the other side of this promo video when we're actually talking about our online digital services. As part of the Canon 4 TV experience and services, we're now extending out into additional online products such as voiceovers, thumbnail artwork designs, and video editing for small YouTubers who have less than 1,000 subscribers. Voiceovers. If you need voiceovers for short videos, 30-second adverts, stories, intros, and outros, then we can do this for you. Let us know the length of the voiceover and we will give you a polished audio file in less than no time. In addition to this, thumbnail artwork designs. As we pride ourselves on sharp HD thumbnail artwork designs, we can do this at a relatively low price. Send us your specifications and we'll produce eye-catching designs to attract subscribers and followers to your platform. And finally, video editing. We have a range of video editing techniques, special effects, and software to produce a polished end product for which you can be completed in the quickest time possible. Now, if you would like help and support getting your channel promoted and your subscriber count going, then send us an email at arsenalpublic1@gmail.com. I repeat, arsenalpublic1 @gmail.com. We are here for you, for the Canon 4 TV experience. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, you caught me dancing.
Is that going to be in one of the outtakes then, Mr. Lee?
No singing but dancing, man. Anyway, guys, yeah,
Can't take you anywhere.
If you want to help with your YouTube channel, voiceovers, video editing,
or dancing lessons,
we can help you. Just send us an email, arsenalpublic1@gmail.com, and we can discuss the finer details there. Let's go back into the live chat. David, Mr. Goodalicious is back.
Hey.
So the Arsenal board had a meeting yesterday, and it was told from an insider that the board were discussing the mistake they made selling Martinez. 14 clean sheets to Leno's 8, plus his mistakes. I haven't seen that anywhere.
How does David get his sources from?
David, what's your source?
That'd be very interesting. But then, do you think that Arsenal's going to want to put Leno's nose out of joint by making a bid for Martinez?
At this point in time, Ralph, I don't know what the board are going to do.
Well, exactly.
Then also says, I know what we will get when I open my chocolate box. Defo, William, Orban, Bellerin will be in it. Oh, dearie me. That's a good one, man. That's a good one. They know they messed up. Leno is such a liability. Martinez is so commanding and can make any defense feel more comfortable in their game. The board need to really start listening to their fans. It's difficult because you want to be concentrating on what you have to do and not be distracted by the noise from the fan base, because we are armchair managers. We want Arteta to be doing this. We want him to do that. We want the players to be doing this. It's easy for us to critique from the sidelines. It's easy because we're not paid by the club. We're not the manager of the club. We're not. So it's easy for us to be armchair managers. But Ralph, do you want to say something?
I feel I want to say just a lot more than what you've just expanded on. Yeah, it is easy at this end because as fans, I think we have had alluded this kind of conversation quite a while back. When we used to go to the match, we would critique about the players, we critique about the managers. We go to the bar, we watch a match of the day or big match or whatever it would have been, anything now, BT Sports and all that lot. You know, it's quite easy for a fan, you know, especially if you play the game, but not obviously to that level. It's quite easy. It's easy to have 20/20 vision when someone makes a decision and gets it wrong. That's all easy. The hard part of I can understand it being on the board or being the chairman. We make it easy of what the chairman should be doing because we've seen good examples everywhere. We've seen good examples everywhere. We've seen chairman, board people invested in the club. The people at this level in this club, we can say it's quite easy for us to say they're not invested because we don't see them. And more importantly, we don't hear them. So if you don't see anything or hear anything, then you come to an assumption. They may have their Arsenal hearts on, but we're not seeing it and we're not hearing it. So it's quite easy. It's quite easy for us to say that player should be doing this, that club should be doing that. But, you know, what they should be doing. They should be coming out, like we said before, on many occasions. It's not just myself. It's not just Alex saying it. You've got a moderator saying it. You've got people like James and Altel saying it as well. Every Arsenal fan saying the same thing. We want to hear from the owner, because when you hear what the owner has to say, and when the owner is sincere and has a vested interest in the club, then all the fans will be on board. If he doesn't have a vested interest in the club, then you get this. This is what it's like, and it's all played out. I remember, is it Angelo Dundee? I think it's one of the trainers for Muhammad Ali. He said Muhammad Ali is a fine boxer from the root to the fruit. So from top to bottom. If it's a good example, if the team, if the club says what it's going to do and actually falls through and does what it does, then the fans are happy. But the flip side is if the owner doesn't say anything, doesn't do anything. And now, like I said before, with the AGM, there's no AGM because he owns the club 100%. So he doesn't have to do anything. Silent Stan will remain silent until he silently goes to another realm. Because as far as we're concerned, he's just doing what he's doing. We can't influence that. How many kits have we got within the last season? Plus promotional kits, and it's like we've become Bellerin's fashion parade, if I have to put it that way. It doesn't seem to be about the team anymore. It seems to be the amount of kits that we're selling. Because why? Because we're just coming through this pandemic. We've just let go of about 50 odd people. And not once has the owner said, you know what, it's regrettable. We're trying to balance the books. We want to make sure that we're looking for the long haul. No. So as far as I'm concerned, yeah, the board has messed up. The most easiest and simplest thing after the FA Cup was to say, the team is settled. You can see the team is settled. Maybe Aubameyang might have signed earlier, because you can see how friendly he was with Martinez at the end. Now, if Martinez wants to leave, as he alluded to, he wants to leave, there's no real pressure. We could have said to him, look, just hang on with us for another transfer window. All of a sudden, when he went and then Leno steps in, and Leno was saying, I'm number one, but he still can't pass the ball 5 yards or 10 yards. We're back to square one, but no, actually, we're minus. We're -5 because Leno is not consistent. And all of a sudden now you've got the board thinking, actually, it was the right thing. We should have kept Martinez. Well done for waking up. 20 or 27 or 28 odd games later on. Well done. Now, are you on board with us? Are you going to start saying what you want to say? Or are you going to remain a silent stand?
Anyway, David says, big up Alex and Ralph, the Arsenal mouth. And of course, all the Cannon Foy TV family. It's great to have you here. Bless you all. Thank you for that, David, Mr. Goonalicious himself. Gary says Leno hasn't proven to be a top goalkeeper worth a big transfer fee. Alex, what did you cook the missus last night? Well, actually, my brother's not aware of this. I changed the hour from 5:35 to 6:35. Because I'm rushing from work. I start cooking, then I'm rushing to get on the podcast. And then I'm on the podcast and my wife is having to arrive from work and having to finish off the cooking, which I thought really for me is, for her, it's unfair. So yesterday, I told you guys what happened yesterday. I arrived work and my wife finished early. So she had started the cooking. And the only thing I had to do was just to do the salad, cutting up the potatoes and the cucumbers and all that kind of stuff there. And Ralph, I put a question out to everyone last night. We had almost 80 odd people watching at any one time. And I put out the question to everyone, Ralph. Would you like to see myself and my wife do a cooking podcast, a YouTube channel? And a lot of the people said yes. I don't know where we're going to find the time, but people said yes, 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 and yes. So I
That's
spoke to
good.
Say again?
That's good.
Yeah, it's good. But I'm thinking where we're going to find the time. Where we're going to find the time. But if you build it, they will come.
Isn't that a line from a film with what's the name of that guy? Kevin Costner.
Possibly.
Yeah, something to do with baseball.
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams. Yeah.
Field of Dreams. Yeah, a good movie actually. Good movie.
Yeah.
Don also says, Ralph still using Arteta's Wi-Fi.
No, it's not Arteta's Wi-Fi. It's Aubameyang's Wi-Fi because it goes missing.
Alex, remember Saka was demanding the money he's on now before he signed the contract. Yeah, but if we're going to sign Bellingham and we give Bellingham what he wants, I can't remember what the figure is. I can't see Saka saying he's on that amount of money. I want more money than him, or Arsenal needs to match what they're giving him. I want that money. I can't see Saka doing that. But then again, it's modern day footballers, isn't it? It's all about the money. Forget about the badge. And Arsenal are a soft touch. We need to be, get back to being very, very, strict about how we go about our business. We're too soft. I saw a news actually I wanted to talk about today, but I'll talk about this tomorrow. I need to spread it out a bit about Auba and the club are saying, well, I'll leave it, but I'll talk about that new segment tomorrow. Very, very controversial about Arsenal, Aubameyang, Arteta, and a certain ex number 10. But I'll talk about that tomorrow.
Are you going to include it in the Easy Talk?
It's funny to say that because I haven't even contacted anybody about the Easy Talk. I've just been so busy.
Because if that kind of subject, I feel that maybe you're going to need to have 2 or maybe 3 heads contributing to that. Arsenal, Arteta, and Aubameyang. That sounds a rather heavy subject.
But the thing is, like I said, it includes our ex number 10, and I know what we said before. We want to draw a line under that situation there. So I think I won't talk about that on the. I'll do that myself. I'll talk about it tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, there are other subjects that to be had.
I'll be intrigued.
Yeah. Alex, football is all about money now. Though no matter how much you love the club. You love the club. There's no doubt we know, a footballer's career, is very, very short. I mean, it's probably done by the mid-30s now. So, you want to try and make as much money as you can, but don't be silly. Don't be silly, going above and beyond. And you're not even performing on the pitch, but yet you're demanding more money. Arsenal have to be more astute with how they go about their business, trying to get players with the proper mentality in, having the youngsters. I mean, I go over this thing so many times, Ralph. I find myself just repeating the same old story. But that's what I want to see. That is what I want to see. Stop paying the silly money for the next shiniest thing across Europe. Look at the players we've got in the academy. And that's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to say. Unless you want to say something.
If I can add to that, the reasons why players are asking for a lot of money is because you have 1 or 2 clubs that is willing to pay that money for quick success. And I'll put up Chelsea and Man City into that argument because you'd have the Man Uniteds and the Liverpools that their reputation was pretty much built on success, but you had very hard managers that dictated the way that the team played and dictated the way that the finances were coming in. when you had Chelsea and Man City, you know, owned by a country pretty much, that kind of broke the restrictions to what a manager can control. You had a really good prospect, but then if the prospect showed up for quite a few games and Man City was hovering over or Chelsea was hovering over, the prospect would say to the manager, okay, you know, I've done what I've done, you know, how about a pay rise? And the manager will probably just laugh at his face and say, well, no, you haven't won anything yet. Wait till we win something and then we'll negotiate. Your agent will say to a young prospect, go over and have a look at what Chelsea and Man City are offering. You know, if you're friends with you know, football, you know, is pretty much based on reputation as well as, you know, your opposition. But if you're mates and you're joining, for example, the England setup, you're going to talk about what your club does and you're going to build relationships. And all of a sudden, your opposition player is now potentially could be your teammate playing for a really wealthy club that's willing to pay over the odds to get you in. We've seen it happen with Arsenal. So when you've got, I've read something as well today about they're getting rid of the financial fair play and putting something else in place. So in terms, I think it was actually on the WhatsApp group, Mr. Fury put it in there. So if that's correct, then no matter how much money you've got in your club, you can potentially just go and pick who you want. You can have Neymar or you can have Messi in your Premiership team because the financial play that was meant to lay out and have those rules. I think wasn't Man City or Chelsea or up on charges, as it were, for Chelsea. Financial irregularities.
Well,
and then
Man City, yeah.
Man City, and did they get a slap on the wrist, or did they just get a don't do it again, naughty boy, and walk away fine kind of thing? So what's the point setting up these kind of institutions to oversee? You know, if a club is doing something fair. I remember Arsene Wenger was always furious at his clubs, but he was just one man, and I remember thinking, you know, Arsene, just let it go because nothing's gonna happen. And look where we are, you know, quite a few years later, and nothing has happened. So your young player coming in can demand that money. It's because we've allowed that to happen, and those clubs that are rich can do that because they want the McDonald's fast food kind of idea. Let's get the player in because that's what he wants, because we want instant success, and that's where the game lies.
Don also asked Alex and Ralph, what's your best ever foreign player to play for Arsenal? Well, people will probably go for the obvious, Thierry Henry, there's Bergkamp. I couldn't really say off the top of my head. Best foreign player to have played for Arsenal. Favorite player.
I liked Anelka.
I'll say probably Bergkamp or Johnny Jensen. Do you know why I said Johnny Jensen? Because as limited as he was in his ability, Ralph, he would fight and he would run with his limited ability.
Yeah,
that's why I'll probably go for Johnny Jensen, because those characteristics there are lacking somewhat in the current squad. So I'm going to go off like left field and say Johnny Jensen. John Jensen. What about yourself?
I remember when Anelka came in. Of course, we can go with Bergkamp. Bergkamp pretty much set the trend and laid the foundation. But I like Anelka at the time because this young prospect, I didn't know about him. I didn't know this young man. And when he scored against Man United, it was like, if anyone scoring against Man United, that was it. That was it's like you reached. And it was a shame that it ended the way that it did, purely because he wanted to leave. There is a documentary about Anelka. I'm not sure if it was on Netflix or it was on Amazon Prime or one of those outlets. But it goes deep into the story about how he is mentally in terms of what he was expecting and what is promised. So to me, highlighted Anelka, but I did like after the Perez and the Lundbergs, I did like Flamini, I like Rosicky, I like Kleb, I like Fabregas, because they were like the next level of players to take Arsenal just that bit further. And I've got magazines of Arsenal magazine where they were, all four of them were they looked like normal guys out, but they were holding Arsenal to the point of, we could have won that Premiership in that year, and it would have been, to me, it would have elevated us even further, because they were so individually skilled, and yet as a combination, they were very deadly, very deadly, young players, and unfortunately, because we moved stadiums, and Arsene felt it was the right thing to do, he sold quite a few, and it broke the team up. So for me, at the first, it would have been Anelka.
Ashley D says, when you get old, lack of mobility is described as lag.
Ashley D must have a lot of experience in that vernacular. Then he comes up with quite a lot. anything age related. He seems to have an answer. So maybe he knows about these things more than we do. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there.
Moving on. So, evening, gentlemen. Obama what? Obama who? Obama sold the guy at the back claiming a packet of cheese and onion crisps. Almost yours for a small fee for a pack of 5 multi-pack flavored Walkers. Get him out of here.
Was the Walker crisp good, delicious?
Oh, dearie me. Question. Is it against the rules for a club to appoint a club representative to negotiate for the players or somebody to that effect? I have no idea. No idea. The technicalities
that territory is unknown for me, I'm afraid. Sorry.
I get the impression that you know the answer, Assemble, because it looks like a quite detailed question. I get the impression you know the answer. To me, I don't know. Alex, if you had a time machine, which I don't, what Arsenal match would you go back to watch again? And what team? Same goes to Ralph. Well, the match in recent memory, I would say it would have to be when we played against Chelsea in the Europa League final. I would love to change the result. I would love to change that result, and it would probably be like 5-1 to Arsenal, because like Ralph said, we haven't won European silverware for 26-27 years. So in recent memory, that will be the match that I will go and watch and change the result. Yeah, there you go. Latest bit of a European silverware. What about yourself, Ralph, man?
You see, I've got two now. One would have been the Champions League final, and I would have wanted Bergkamp to be on. Why we didn't put Bergkamp on? It still mystifies me. The second match, the second match for me would have been Arsenal against Parma in 1994, because that was a night and a half. Asprilla, Brolin, that was the team. I remember I was watching. I said before, I was watching it moving from Camden to Highbury with my then partner at the time, and in between moving the boxes, I was watching the TV, and she was trying to get me to hurry up. And when we won, we went down to the stadium in the white van, and we was cheering with everyone. It was just an amazing scene. So to go back to that would have been good. If I had to go back in time to influence the team, then it definitely would have been the Champions League final, because I think Bergkamp would have done something special that night.
Yeah.
Why we didn't play him, I still don't know.
David has put a comment that I'm not going to put up on the live chat on the screen, and he's talking about the news again about Arsenal, Arteta, Aubameyang, and our ex number 10 player. So I think what I'll do, I will talk about that on tomorrow evening's live show rather than on this one here. Quite controversial, and I don't want to entertain other people's opinions. I want it to be my opinion, selfish as I am. Anyway. David says, Don Arsene, the real question is, if he had a time machine, then he could convince Arsene to never leave Highbury. Yeah. Well, I never left Highbury. I'm still outside. I'm camped out. I've got my cocoa. I'm not going anywhere. Anyway, dancing to his own promo. Starting to get worried about you, Alex. It's Ashley D again, isn't it?
Yeah. he's thinking. You know what? I think his mind. He's definitely thinking some proper kind of responses now. Maybe his mind just lagged a little bit on the last one.
And here's Gary actually just kind of piling in on that. He says, come on, California TV. Where's you see Alex? The dancing fool, he's multi-talented. Come on, you Gunners. Thank you, Gary, for that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Weren't we meant to be having some kind of like, forfeited kind of like thing with these guys from way back?
Next season, it's too late. It's too late. I already said
yeah.
You guys waited too long. You waited too long, man. Alex chucking out shapes to his own intro. Also, Alex is ready to teach you his dance moves for 1 like and a subscribe. I like that. Thank you. I will find the source and send it to you guys. Thank you for that. Bronze Dosser says, I'm not having that about Leno. He has been our best keeper since Jens Lehmann. Silence.
There's no doubt before the pandemic, and before he got injured, he was definitely on form. When we got Martinez after the pandemic, and then some key games against Liverpool, Man City, I believe Man United, Sheffield United, he was definitely the keeper, the informed keeper. What I'm saying is, he spent so much time at the club that he was due his time, and I think the club would have benefited, the team would have benefited from him being in the team at this present moment in time. But if he wants to leave, I know that he said he wants to leave as well. Arsenal could have negotiated a bit harder. They could have negotiated a bit harder. So, but ifs, ands, buts, and maybes, Alex.
Oh yeah, I know. Don't count for much on California TV, man. No. David says, let's be honest, we can see the mistakes and what works for the club. So why don't the board see this? It was not hard to see that Arsenal looked a much better team with Martinez than Leno. And I've got to agree with David. That's my opinion. Bronze Dosser, Ashton, I will respect your opinion gratefully, but in my opinion, I just, the optics looked better when Martinez was in goal. He's got 14 clean sheets. 14 clean sheets playing for Aston Villa. But that's my opinion, and I will respect your opinion. Hot topics, Ralph. Hot topics.
Yeah.
In just 10 games. Ralph, if the board were discussing that and they are still watching him, wouldn't that mean they understood football to recognize that they made a mistake?
That's a good statement. But then my response to that is, how comes it took them that amount of time to think that, who was it that actually sanctioned the move? How comes all of a sudden it's taken them this amount of time to realize that they made a mistake? What's going to happen in the future when, for example, Aubameyang is going to come up for his contract? Lacazette at this moment in time maybe come up for his contract. What happens with the future of Martinelli and Balogun, Eddie Nketiah? You know, are they foresighted enough to say, hang on a minute now, you know what? We've been here before. We've been here before. We've had to wait and wait and wait to a time when we can actually start forcing people to move out the club. You know, surely they must have like a think tank of experts to negotiate or to understand the trends of what's happening for the club on a wider scale. You know, what potential, what are you doing with the academy players? Why is it that we're not using the academy players to go into the first team as it would have happened many years ago? How much money do we have to spend? Tell us how much money do we have to, physically, how much money do we have to spend? All this self-sustainable model is to me, it's a misnomer, because, for example, where I work, we've got a business navigator, and he tells us every week or every fortnight without fail, financially, where the company is going. And because we've got a vested interest in making sure that the company goes in a direction to the customers. So if you're looking at the fans pay, whether it's a shirt, whether it's a ticket, whether it's a season ticket, whether it's a hot dog or whatever it is, you must have a mid-term and an end of term financial book to show us where our money's going. Who can, you know, do we have access to that as fans? Or is the owner or those around the board can actually say to us, guess what, guys? You know, this year we decided to pull out maybe 4 kits because we're going to be dropping out of the Europa League sometime. So we want you to support the club. Nobody's given us the ABC steps. It's like we have to try. We're literally in the fog at the moment. We're trying to find our way through. So that's the reason why we tend to question everything, because nobody, representative or owner, has come out to say, this is where we are, this is where we want to go, and we're going to need your help. Simple facts. I'm not, Alex would say this, and you guys will say this, I'm not the kingpin of Arsenal. I'm just a fan. I love my club. You know, I've loved it from the time Charlie George scored that screamer against Liverpool. But at the same time, I want to know where we're going. What happens if nobody likes this situation? What happens if we don't progress in the Europa League? How many fans are going to stay with us when we have to maybe be out of the Europa League for maybe 2 to maybe 3 years, 3 seasons? I remember once upon a time when Arsene Wenger was asked about when do you feel that you're going to win the Champions League, he said, well, we've got plenty of time. He's not in the club anymore. He said that. He gave that interview after we beat Newcastle FA Cup 1998, if memory serves me well. On both as Alex and I are on this platform, he was interviewed and he said when we're going to win the Champions League, and then all of a sudden now, 2008 was the Champions League final.
Yeah.
2008, and here we are, 2021, and we're talking about Europa League. Potentially, you know, we see what we do against Slava Prague, but where's this think tank? Where's these people who sit around the table? They sit around the table. Me and Alex have been to the Emirates and we've seen where, you know, we've gone through the tours. So there's a big table somewhere where these people sit down and talk about the future of Arsenal.
Anyway. Ashton says, but David Martinez was there 10 years. Mr. Scooby Mac. Chambers should be our permanent right back. I wouldn't say he should be our backup right back. Suarez should be our number one, and then Chambers should be our backup right back.
Yeah.
Anyway. The assembled Ashton goalkeepers mature later. They do. Keep the youth. David says exactly. I knew the club so well. He waited so long for his chance and then took it and was then sold. He deserves to play in goal after his performance. How much could you sell Leno for now? It would be a profit. It would be a profit. But
yeah, he's still young.
Yeah. Get rid of Aubameyang. Probably knit the amount we sold Martinez for that. That's for sure. Alex only got to do the salad, meaning my wife only trusted me with the salad. It's so funny. I just wonder, has a moderator in the podcast history ever been banned or blocked? I have to research that information. Beware, Ashley D. Beware.
Ashley D is now typing so much.
I think Auburn will find his shooting boots soon. Silver King, your nan. Oh, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, Field of Dreams was the movie. Auburn brings nothing else to the team if he can't score, and that is the truth, Ruth. If he's not scoring, what else is he bringing? Was Lacazette? You'll find him coming deep, trying to make interceptions, putting pressure on the defenders. Auburn just won't do that. He won't do that. Monty says Cronky out, El Neni in. That's a good one. Hey up, goodness! Any newbies on Cannon Fodder, this great fun channel? Hit the likes and subscribe so you can see a lot more from these lovely people. You redeemed yourself, Ashley. You redeemed yourself.
No, he always had that in his locker, Alex.
Yeah, I know. Your channel's very good. Thank you for that, Arsenal Alex. No, Ralph, it was Wayne's World where he said that if you build it, they will come. When they was putting on a show called Wayne Stock. Really? Yeah.
Okay.
There
may be different.
Smash the like button, please. Please thumb up and subscribe if you're new here, and it's going to give me an opportunity to post a link to this video, 90-second video that my brother is going to talk to you about.
Okay, so the financial world is changing, the landscape's changing. We all know that during the pandemic, people have been furloughed, people have lost jobs. I have been particularly close to quite a few people I used to work with who have lost jobs. So this business opportunity, Alex and I have jumped in, and if anything, it's good to have a financial safety net. Some things are not taught in schools. This particular idea about having a multiple source of income, it may be a new term to you guys, but it's something that Alex and I have always had a vested interest many years. This 9-second video will show you how that works, and we ask you to have a look at it. Some people's attention span is either short or longer than that time, but have a look because you never know what's around the corner. And we are here to pass that message on. And if you're interested, cool. If you're not interested, that's cool as well. As long as we're Arsenal fans and we still have the banter and relationship that we've built within the last few years. But have a look at this video because it could change your life.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Ralph. Mr. Scooby Mac says, Anelka, you're having a laugh.
The reason I say Anelka, sorry, Stroppy. Yeah, he became Stroppy. He became Stroppy. I think there was one particular match when Tony Adams asked him if he was going to do any running today. His head was really turned by the potential of going to Real Madrid. His brother was acting as an agent as well for that. When you're young, when you feel you've got the world at your feet, then you will turn stroppy. You don't learn the way that the world works. You want to make your world shape to your desires, so to speak. And of course, they at Arsenal a lot longer than he did, but he decided to jump ship, and he played for Real Madrid, had problems there, jumped ship. He played for Liverpool, I believe.
That's
He
right.
came back to the Premiership.
Did he play for Bolton
But
as
what
well?
I
Bolton?
sorry,
No. Did he play for Bolton?
he did play for Bolton. He did play for Bolton. He played against us a couple of times. So when you think about it, I think he may have been his happiest because where he was discovered, for to play for Arsenal. There's quite a few Arsenal players who may have gone over to our nearest rivals, whether the Man United, not Man United, Man City, Chelsea particularly. If you ask them if they're really happy, I maybe save one of them, Cashley Cole. But if you ask one of them if they would have liked to have won something at Arsenal before they jumped ship, I think pretty much most of them would have done. They would have been happy to have won something. And Anelka won the Premiership and he won an FA Cup, so he probably felt that it was time for him to go. But if you look at Fabregas, if you look at Kleb, if you look at Flamini, Nasri, Sami Nasri, Gael Clichy, some of the younger players who didn't win anything with us other than an FA Cup. I think in the if when they go to sleep at night, they probably wish they could have won the Premiership at the Arsenal.
Yeah.
And that's just me. So stroppy teenager, I understand it.
Actually, this is yep. All comes from experience. You want to see me out cutting my pictures with my Zimmer frame? No, thank you. No, thanks. No,
We don't want to see that.
After says, I choose Ronison to Leno. Really, Ronison? No, thank you. And any better wrong all about Willa won't out Chambers, Torreira, Holden, Mafropanos, Ainsley Martinez, Guendouzi out for the money. Out for money, not for the money. Out for money. Alex from Ralph. Do you guys think Arsene Wenger deserves a statue at the Emirates? Ralph?
I struggle with this. I would have given him a statue at Highbury because that's where most of his success was. At the Emirates, to me, at the Emirates, I think from the time we got to the Emirates, that's when his tenureship started being questioned a lot. And to me, it will be a reminder if he had a statue there. I don't mind. I don't see why we can't give him like a. I'm sure is there a bust? There's a bust of him, isn't there?
Yes,
Bust of him.
Yeah.
So a bust. I'll be happy with. I want to. To me, when you have a statue at stadium, if you look at Tony Adams, Bergkamp, and Henry, they kind of like exemplify the reasons why they had those statues for those historical value timelines. If you put a statue at the Emirates for Arsene Wenger, to me it'll be more of a statue of what we didn't really achieve from the time we landed at the Emirates.
I'll probably give him like a name, a stand after him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I'm not so
sure. I'm not really keen on the fact of a statue at the Emirates.
Okay. Kent, hi. Oh, hi, Kent. It's been a while since you've been in the live chat. I hope you're well. Keep it safe, my friend. Obama blows this thing yang to the local taxi company to finish drivers. What is that? Obama what? I'm gonna go for it, Ralph.
No.
All right. Okay. Mickey Cartel says, is Arsenal saying Bellerin is going on a free? How much truth is that in that? I don't think he's going on a free.
No.
I think he's got another couple of years, I think, to run on his contract.
It's only like 25, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So we'll get something.
Well, one keeper is in contention for the Golden Glove. Leno ain't. The board can now see this, and it's clear who's the better keeper is. And with a team, we all feel a lesser team than us. I'm not saying anything about that anymore. I think we're kind of drawing that one out. Let's see if we can eke anything out. Actually, don't make me put you on a timeout. Yeah, put him on a naughty on a naughty step. Who else do we have here? Let's quickly. David says, I believe Arsene should have a bust of him outside Highbury. There you go, Ralph.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one, actually. I thought it was Harry Wilson that scored for Wales. What's going on?
Harry Wilson that scores for Wales. In reference to
Rugby?
a particular question.
I don't know. I don't know. Kent says, you can have Origi for free. Just take him, please. No, thank you. No, thank you. You can keep him at Liverpool.
Yeah, we're good.
Alex Wells just scored a beautiful team goal. Oh, right. Okay, that's what it is.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
because we're on this podcast, aren't we? So you know, I'm going to quickly wrap this one up, and then we are going to be done and dusted. Don also says Henri and Bergkamp had their best days at the Highbury, but still got a statue at the Emirates.
Yeah.
The thing is, you put a statue at Highbury, no one's going to get to see it. Who's going to get to see the statue if it's at Highbury? Anyway, Colin says a great show. Sorry, I was slightly misbehaving. That's all right. It's okay. The national break gives me too much time to think.
It's fine.
Anyway, my headline moderator, actually my VAR in Monty says, thank you to Alex and Ralph for a great segment, and thank you to my fellow Gooners for your time with us, which tells me that we have come to an end on this particular evening segment on Canon Foyer TV. Ralph, thank you, man.
Thank you very much, Alex. Much
So when can we
appreciated.
expect to see you again?
I said Sunday. We can do our Sunday morning segment if you wish. Although it'd be interesting to find out on your segment tomorrow about Uber and Arsenal. That sounds rather tantalising.
Well,
it's a bit like a cliffhanger.
Well, it is, but it's not, because for Arsenal, we have to look in the history to see what happened, and we're going to make sure that we learn from the history, the recent history. So yeah, I think rather than involving other people's opinions, that we've spoken so many times about our ex number 10, I will deal with that issue. I'll deal with that issue.
I'll take this one on. It's all right, stand back, lads. I'll take this.
And actually, Kent's just coming with a donation of £1.99.
Oh, thank you very much, man.
Thank you very much for that. And Kent, he's not even an Arsenal supporter; he's a Liverpool supporter. So, again, all that's predominantly a channel for Arsenal fans all over the world. We've got so many subscribers who don't follow Arsenal. The Liverpool supporters, Southampton supporters, Aston Villa supporters. So, Kent, from both my brother and myself, I want to say thank you so very much.
Much appreciated, man.
Thank you very much for that. So we're done. We're finished. We're finished on this one. I will be back, same time, same place, a different day. Thursday. Thank goodness for Thursday.
He'll be back.
I can't wait. I'm fired up. Got my pedal to the metal. Yeah, Ken, thank you very much. I just seen your last one and you said you're welcome. Thank you. No, we don't want Origi. We've got enough problems as it is. Origi, no, thank you. All right. So anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. I saw the numbers just bubbling, just over 30 at any one time. I've just been watching the analytics as well. Over, I think, 300 people, and still rising as well. I was watching both Ralph and myself, just gassing on about Arsenal and other bits and pieces as well. Do you want to do the outro, Ralph?
I like to, but
You don't want to? Then I'll do it. I'll do it.
you can do it. And I'll tell you what, I think because you had me when you said that, I will do the intro on Sunday.
Okay, it's cool.
Just
It's all right.
yeah.
It's okay. All right, guys. Well,
Thank
anyway,
you.
if you are a newbie, if you've been watching, been thinking, should I subscribe? I'm not sure. Should I subscribe? Subscribe. Be part of this community over here on this wonderful channel. And if by chance you've been wondering, who or what you've been listening to, you've been listening to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.